Alright, welcome back to the rest of the story. Now, I meant to do this video a lot earlier, but I gotta do it quick because we're starting to run out of moonlight. Oh, just quoted a song there by accident. Run out of daylight. You guys probably have a pretty good idea as to what I've bought already. This has been a pretty busy week as far as auctions go. I'm tapped out. I'm tired of spending money. I don't like spending money, not typically, but I was definitely buying stuff that I feel is gonna at least make me my money back, and it just wasn't a silly purchase. So this is the first item that I bought. The other items, I guess this is the second, because the first items were the cattle. That was, what, Saturday? I bought this on Tuesday, and I bought the other item on Wednesday. Everything is home. The sprayer is not here. I'm not trying to string you along as far as, you know, hold out the suspense for what I got. I got cattle, a rake, a New Holland, a really nice New Holland 258 rake, and then a Top Air 300 gallon 3-point mounted sprayer with a 45-foot booms on it that at the very least I'm going to be using it for putting nitrogen down. For the money I put down on it, I sure better see some response with putting the liquid fertilizer down. But my backup plan is that if I can't use it for putting down, or if I decide that I'm not benefiting from putting down liquid fertilizer with it, I'm actually going to go ahead and set that sprayer up for spraying pastures. And I may do it regardless. Andrew is just here. The problems I'm having with, and you guys already saw, I'm having problems with both the pieces of equipment that I bought. When you buy something from an auction, it's not necessarily a good thing because you're willing to pay more than what the next guy thought it was really worth or what it was valued. Well, this needed some work. This was the better rake, roller side discharge rake on this sale. There was a couple other ones that went. This one had the best paint, which paint doesn't make you money, but nice paint now means that potentially, hopefully, this rake is going to be around for the next, well, basically the duration of my farming career. I don't see us ever really having to get away from a rake like this. We've needed one for quite a while. Well, we used to have one growing up. My grandpa had a 256. The reason that we did not buy that 256 off the farm sale is that there's a lot of stuff going down. We weren't sure how many acres of hay we were going to be raising, and we already had a hay rake at that point. We were definitely more focused on buying the equipment needed to grow corn and beans. But now that our corn and soybean, our row crop equipment is pretty well settled, and we're just maintaining and trading and going that route, for those of you that have been watching my channel, fully well know that I'm doing more hay going forward here. And down in the valley, that reed canary grass can be like 6 feet tall, and being able to rake it over so the windrows aren't quite so big, or if I need to roll them back over to help get them to dry out, or if I need to roll them over after they've been rained on, a piece of equipment like this is going to work great. Plus the fact that we have a lot of waterways that I do like to make at least once, sometimes twice a year, and being able to go through all of our waterways with this matched with that tractor right back there, we can get and do all of our waterways really well. You drive up one side of it, you get to the top, you spin a left turn, and you come right back down, and that way you don't have to worry about going to the furthest waterway with those gale rakes. And we did do the waterways with that rhino rake, but they do a really nice job because they do have that sweeping motion. They really pick up all of the material that you're trying to pick up. But the problem is that when you get that big of a piece of equipment that long, trying to back it up around 45 and 90 degree waterways and turns and all that it does get kind of unhandy. When by the time I get done doing one field with even our gale rake, backing up all of our waterways, I could have had all of our waterways done with something like this, because basically you set it, you drop it down to where you want it, and you go. So that's, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just that, you know, when you get to the point where you start to get into the that's really why I'm excited to have a rake like this back in the farm. It's wider than the one we had. This one is not quite 10 feet. The 256, I don't know how wide that one really was. I've talked to a lot of parts dealers today, and a lot of them are saying that the bars, because I got 2 bad bars, the 256s are a lot more common, but they're shorter by like a foot. They're like, this one we measured from end to end, it's like 9 feet 7 inches, and the bar that he had was for a 256, and it was only like 8 feet and some change. So whatever. Now we're gonna go over what is all up with this rake. I don't have the sprayer here. I was gonna go get it. We unloaded it out at my brother's place because the JCB was out there, and that way we could just drop it off and it's fine. The sprayer is a little bit more worse for wear than I would like. I feel a lot better after talking with both my friends, actually. I don't have any real experience with these bigger sprayers. I have had experience using the 4-wheeler ATV sprayer, but it's a hydraulically driven sprayer, which is huge because my intentions are to put the 4640 on it. It's only a 300-gallon tank, but what I was told from my friend was he's got a 500-gallon tank on his trailer behind, and he said that he only filled about 250 gallons in it just because the weight and the time it took for him to unload it. But we'll go over that sprayer in another video, so not trying to lead you guys on and trying to create suspense. It's just that it's not here, but I'll probably do a full overview on the sprayer. What I was just told, it didn't come with a controller. It's got some, well, the booms actually look like they're okay, but the sprayer itself, without the controller on it, which I can get a controller for like 300 bucks, and then fittings and just making sure everything is sound, the hydraulic pump, somewhere along the lines, it broke the hydraulic hoses off, the fittings, the ends of the hoses off into the adapter going into the hydraulic pump, which is really not that big of a deal. I can get parts from my local John Deere dealer, which I'm really glad that I can, because I was doing a whole bunch of other calling today from farther away dealerships because I didn't realize I could get parts for my sprayers through my local John Deere dealer, Sloan's Express, and I'm just feeling a lot better about that purchase. So first things first, got a flat tire. Really not that big of a deal. I'm going to check the bearings to make sure, actually pretty tight, but both these tires are going to be replaced. The rear ones are fine. The paint is actually a lot nicer than my grandpa's. This thing was shedded, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the paint was nicer than my grandpa's ever was when we had his. So 258, we took off one of the bars. You guys saw it's on the bench over there. We're trying to decide what we're going to do with it. One of these bars is $550. We went over and looked at it. We didn't actually go over to look at this rake. This showed up, like this pulled into the auction place when we went to go look at the other rake. So happy, lucky coincidence, I'd say. It did have the drive shaft is all disengaged, so you can pull it up and down the road. That's why the grease is scattered out of both tires. It was greased really well. We are going to go through and check it. We got to replace 2 bars or get 2 made because this one is the worst one. But you can see that it's been obviously broke. If I can do this without. There. As you can tell, this one's obviously been broke and welded back on. My problem is I don't really feel like trusting whoever welded its weld. So we're either gonna get a new bar fabricated, or I'll just have to find a used one, or I will break down and put a new one on it. It does need all new teeth. We aren't gonna go through and put the 3 teeth on like we can. That's what this extra hole here is for. We're just gonna go with the 2 teeth like we've always done in the past, because the material that we're gonna rake is generally we've only used this in the past. We've only used it for first crop because first cutting was always so heavy. And when we were chopping and baling, it was nice not having these huge windrows. Second and third crop will almost certainly be done exclusively with the Rhino, and the better that way. But I'm just trying to be prepared for whatever this weather throws at us. I mean, we've had, in the years since we've gone through and taken over the farms after Grandpa's auction, we've had many instances where having a rake like this would really come in handy, and I'm just glad we got one back. So it's mainly just an accumulation game from here on out as far as buying what we need, and not necessarily just buying what you want. I mean, the 7600 was a want. I did not need that tractor when I bought it, but you know, I think everybody does it. Most people get out of college and they buy a car or a truck and have a loan for how many years paying for a vehicle. Well, I went and I bought a tractor, but at least that tractor made me my money back, so I'm happy there. Plenty of grease all across it, between the teeth and the bar and the tires. The other one is fine. This really isn't going to need a whole lot of work. We are going to go through. I can show you that in the bench. We got to replace the bearings. We were going to go through and change the bearings out in all of these. There's two bearings that sit down in here, plus the snap ring. The snap ring was broke. Dad says that was already broke when he opened it up, but two bearings sit down in here, plus a snap ring holding it in. I'm not too worried about that. So we're gonna go through, do that. The teeth are shook. I mean, you can tell the rubber is starting to give in all of them. There's different quality of rubber for these teeth that you can put on. We were quoted at a lot of the local places $6 and some change. I went online and did some shopping, and I found anything from $1.50 all the way up to $10 plus. Well, the $10 plus probably won't last any longer than the dollar ones, so you gotta try to find a happy medium. I was told to try to find the Korean ones, not because of the whole bug thing that's going around, and it's more of a quality thing. The Korean made teeth actually are a lot better quality. And this, I found this in the parts bin, Old Faithful, going through, and it is a New Holland tooth too. We got a bunch of old teeth in the parts bin from way back when. So this kind of gives you an idea. Well, it's not built perfect. I gotta bend it out, that's fine. That gives you an idea about where the teeth need to be compared to where they are. And they're all that way. They're not supposed to be straight. The curve on it helps with the scooping up the hay or the grass. We are moving away from doing so much hay and actually shifting more to grass. Beef cattle like the grass. I don't care if they prefer grass over hay. If that's what they're willing to eat, grass seed is a lot cheaper than paying for the alfalfa seed. I can tell you that right now. When we were putting alfalfa seed in, when we were milking cows, is currently, what's the best way to say that? The good quality alfalfa seed we were putting down, or the higher quality dairy alfalfa hay seed we were putting down, we were milking cows, is the same price back then as the lower quality beef quality alfalfa today. So we'd be paying for essentially dairy quality beef cow hay. I mean, if like back when we were milking cows, we actually priced out just, I can't remember, it's like TLM, JLM. It's just a grass mix. We're actually going to try getting away from putting down an oats cover crop, and we're going to direct seed grass and see how much we like that. So this is going to get a lot of use. So another weld right here. It was it was catching up on the upper side of it, which I'm not going to go ahead and tear apart because this video is long enough. I don't know when I'm going to do a video on the sprayer, but there is a sprayer video coming. I feel a lot better about that now, just because it was sight unseen. I did not go and look at that sprayer. I bought it, and every time that we have purchased something on this farm sight unseen, we regretted it. That sprayer, it needed work. It said it right in the description. I just didn't realize it needed as much work as it needs. But it's not that big of a deal because, like I said, the two friends that I got are able to get it straightened out. And if I decide to go that option, I may end up using that sprayer on the 4640 like I said, but using the ag leader monitor. Andrew said that we can actually go through, and because the sprayer has the section control, the 3 sections on it, he says he can actually get it set up so I can run the RTK straight track, you know, with the on track, plus have the sprayer controlled with the ag leader monitor. We'll see where we end up there, but I'm only really just putting nitrogen down on grass hay, but saving my money, not overlapping. We'll see. So, yeah, saying the old Harvest Tech monitor is still waiting patiently to be put on the baler. The way the weather's going, 60 degrees this weekend. It's spitting snow right now. Mother Nature really needs to figure out if she wants to keep this winter thing going, or if she shouldn't just break off her relationship with winter and just move right on to spring. So, all right, somebody's calling me. I gotta let you go. Thanks. You guys are watching the rest of the story. Take care. Take it easy. Keep in touch. I will talk to you guys later.